It's 7 a.m., and the grind starts early. No excuses, no breaks. His foot hits the ground hard, splashing through puddles as the rain pours. A full-on 10 kilometers run in the rain. Dude's built different, pushing through like it's just another morning routine. It's noon, and training's far from over. 500 head strikes. No rest, no mercy, just pure discipline. By 5 p.m., he's still at it. Legs burning, breath heavy, but he keeps pushing forward. He's pushing his body past the limit. Heavy lifting, non-stop sets, pure pain. After days of the same brutal grind, he makes up his mind. Without hesitation, he drops his resignation letter. He's done with the old life. He's questioning his sanity. Did he really just throw everything away for this? But maybe being insane would have made more sense than what's coming next. A screen flashes before him. The door to the end of days is opening soon. The countdown begins. The truth hits. There's no turning back. The world's really about to end. The countdown ticks down to 2 seconds. 1 second left, everything's about to change. 15 days earlier, everyone's phones start glowing red at once. A critical disaster alert flashes. Monsters sighted near the mountain. No one believes it at first. Then more alerts flood in. Monsters are popping up everywhere. Panic starts spreading fast. A terrified streamer spots something huge in the dark. It's real. There's actually a monster. He grins nervously for the camera, debating if he should get closer, his chat egging him on. Then one chilling message pops up. Behind you. The guy nervously laughs it off, thinking his friends are trolling him, until the monster's eyes snap open. A blood-curdling scream tears through the night. Elsewhere, a man watches the video on his phone, thinking it's just another fake clip, too realistic for comfort. Lee Hoyoung, 29, stares at his phone, another disaster alert. He's confused, wondering what's going on. He mutters to himself about how life's already tough enough without people spreading rumors about monsters. Convinced it's all fake, he brushes it off, thinking it's just another viral hoax circulating online. He freezes. There's something in front of him. A monster, small but definitely real. Confused and panicked, he can't believe what he's seeing. It's not a prank. There's an actual monster. He starts freaking out, ready to run. Then suddenly remembers, today's supposed to be the day his math teacher arrives. The creature trembles, looking up at him with teary eyes and a weak carrick. He hesitates, wondering if it's actually asking for help. But even with those puppy eyes, it's still terrifying. A single tear rolls down the monster's cheek, its gaze desperate and full of fear. He reminds himself, he's not the kind of person who shows mercy to monsters. He clenches his eyes shut, trying to block out any emotion. Even with those pleading eyes staring at him, he convinces himself he can't help a monster. A photo. 3 monsters smiling together like any ordinary family. The old creature clutches the picture, whispering softly that she has a family waiting for her. His eyes widen in shock. His entire resolve shatters in an instant. A strange glowing orb, Silver Goblin's pill. The system claims it grants something unknown. He can't believe it. He actually helped a monster, and now he's holding its parting gift. Confused, he inspects it closer. Silver Goblin's pill, he mutters. Maybe it's some kind of hologram? He stares at the pill, scoffing. Who in their right mind would eat something this shady? Then the TV grabs his attention. Breaking news. Massive, unknown structures have appeared worldwide. The screen shows a towering spire tearing through the earth, and reports say the U.S. Army just vanished inside it. His eyes widen. The world's collapsing into chaos. Monsters and mysterious towers all at once. Still holding the pill, he tries to process everything until a strange rumble breaks the silence. An explosion erupts outside his window. Light and shock waves engulf the room in an instant. He freezes, eyes wide, heart racing. What the hell is going on? People are screaming and running as chaos consumes the streets. The sky itself looks torn apart. Someone shouts into their phone, pointing upward. Panic spreads as everyone realizes this isn't just an accident. The city lies in ruins, Cars flipped, buildings crumbling, smoke filling the air. And from the heart of the chaos, a massive tower erupts from the ground, tearing reality apart. It keeps rising, impossibly tall, like it's piercing the heavens themselves. The tower has descended. He stares at the impossible sight before him. An enormous tower rising from the heart of Korea. His hand tightens into a fist, determination and fear clashing inside him. Without hesitation, he brings the mysterious pill to his lips and swallows it. Energy surges through his body. The pill ignites a storm of power inside him. His eyes snap open, glowing with an unnatural blue light. That power, it's not human. Something within him has awakened. A blinding surge of blue light erupts before him, crackling like lightning tearing through space itself. He reaches out instinctively, and the light takes form, solidifying in his hands. A glowing, ornate book materializes. He stares in disbelief. A book. He grips the book tighter. Its glow intensifies, almost alive. The moment it opens, a burst of light floods the room, overwhelming everything. Pages spin into the air, multiplying, scattering like digital fragments across space. The glowing book transforms into a digital message, counting down the days to the world's end. He takes the guide's words seriously, dropping everything else to train nonstop. Now, after 2 grueling weeks, he's stronger, more focused. This is the new him, ready for what's coming. He looks around, confused. So this is the end? It's too peaceful to be the apocalypse. A system window flickers, blunt sword acquired. He sighs, a sword? That's it. Then the voice of the system echoes. Tutorial initiated. Aptitude test complete. Class assignment in progress. Things are about to get real. And just like that, the system assigns him a class. Combat swordsman. He's stunned. This is real. System windows pop up everywhere, bombarding him with data and quests. He can barely keep up, but there's no time to waste. He grabs his sword and takes a stance. The tutorial has officially begun. He smirks, gripping the sword. Combat swordsman, huh? Guess this is where it really begins. The system throws him a mission. Survive 60 minutes in this forest or find the exit. Sounds simple enough, right? Then another notification flashes, warning him about nearby threats. Yeah, this tutorial isn't going to be a walk in the park. The sage's status window activates, guiding him toward the best survival path. Kill monsters, not run. He realizes it now. The reason for those 15 days of training. The system had planned this all along. He steadies himself, eyes narrowing. No running then. Guess it's time to hunt. The forest rustles, something's coming. The message pops up, the tutorial starts now. He tightens his grip, ready for whatever comes next. But instead of a terrifying beast, a small raccoon with a horn appears. He blinks. That's the monster. It's way too cute for this kind of game. Something's definitely off. The raccoon's cute act drops. Its face twists, claws extend, and eyes glow red. Yeah, definitely a monster. It lets out a furious roar and leaps straight at him like a furry missile. But he reacts instantly, swinging his sword with precision. The clash of survival has officially begun. The raccoon drops. One clean strike, and it's over. He earns his first EXP, realizing it went down way too easily. But then it hits him. Skills use mana. Basic swordsmanship costs 2 MP, and I've only got 10. He grips his sword tighter. I'll have to conserve my mana. With controlled swings, he continues slashing through the forest, fighting smart, not wild. He charges in, eyes sharp and movements fluid, his training paying off. Basic swordsmanship. He swings with precision, the air slicing clean as the attack connects. The raccoon lets out a shriek, its body glowing as it struck down, the energy dispersing into the air. A blue screen flashes. He's gained EXP and leveled up. HP and MP fully restored, and 2 stat points to spend. He grins, raising his sword. Perfect timing. I was almost out of mana. His confidence starts to grow. But then a faint red glow catches his eye. Something nearby is definitely not normal. His interface suddenly glitches, text distorting, something's messing with the system. Adjusting the player's level. You are now level 1. His progress is wiped clean in an instant. A new message appears, the weight of knowledge. Because he holds the sage's status window, his growth will now be slower than everyone else's. He stares in disbelief at the screen floating above him. What? Are you serious right now? Realization hits. Having the sage's status window comes with a penalty. The level he just earned? Gone. When can I even level up again? Frustration boils over. What a ridiculous handicap. He clenches his fist and shouts, "Status window," trying to make sense of it all. He narrows his eyes at the glowing screen. Something's not adding up. His status window pops open. Level 1, combat swordsman. But all his stats are higher than before. He leans closer, shocked. Wait, why do I still have my stat points? He studies his status window carefully, piecing things together. If what I'm thinking is right. His eyes widen in realization, a grin forming. This isn't a penalty. It's an overpowered bug-like ability. He can hardly believe the loophole he's just uncovered. He starts doubting everything. Wait, did the guide lie to me? Before he can think deeper, another monster leaps straight at him from the trees, claws out and screeching. He tightens his grip on the sword, ready to strike again with full force. He swings the sword clean through another monster, his movements sharper than before. A grin spreads across his face as his status window pops up again. Level 1, Li Hoyoung. He confirms his theory. Just as I thought, I dropped back to level 1, but my stat points keep increasing. He realizes the pattern. Every time he resets, his stat points keep piling up. It's actually easier to grow this way than leveling the normal route. He opens the stat screen, eyes focused. All right, let's see. I can raise my stats. For options, Strength and agility make the most sense for a combat swordsman. He braces himself, already picturing how much stronger he'll become. He analyzes his options, strength for raw power, agility for faster movement and sharper reflexes. But then he hesitates. No, what I really need right now isn't either of those. His finger hovers over the stat screen. The forest suddenly echoes with a sharp cry, something dangerous stirring nearby. He slashes down another one-horned raccoon, watching it collapse instantly. They're weaker than I thought. I can take them down even without spending stat points, he mutters, gripping his sword tighter. He surveys the pile of defeated monsters around him. Now, the only issue is finding enough of them before time runs out. He smirks, realizing his higher sensitivity is paying off. It's way easier to locate those raccoons now, and I can even feel something like chi flowing through me. His expression shifts. A dark, powerful energy suddenly flares behind him. A massive blood-red aura bursts forth as an enraged monster leaps out, way bigger, stronger, and deadlier than before. A new system prompt flashes. Defeat level 2 one-horned raccoon alpha. The air grows heavy with tension. The ground trembles as the alpha beast slams its claws down, radiating killing intent. It lunges forward with terrifying speed, crushing weaker raccoons in its path, straight toward Hoyoung. An explosion erupts behind him as he dodges just in time, dirt flying everywhere. He rolls across the ground, barely keeping his grip on the sword. Panting, he looks up with gritted teeth. Damn, it's fast. That thing's charging like a rhino on steroids. The monstrous raccoon crashes through the trees, roaring loud enough to shake the forest. Wait, that's the boss. Hoyoung steadies his breathing, gripping his sword tight. Calm down, it's stronger than the rest. I need to focus. The alpha lowers its head and charges again, its horn glowing crimson like it's ready to pierce straight through him. His eyes lock on target, pure focus, no hesitation. With one swift, clean slash, he cuts through the alpha mid-charge, the impact echoing like thunder. As the monster falls, Hoyoung exhales with a smirk. Guess I'm actually level 7 after all. The system pops up, tutorial complete. Hoyoung exhales, finally letting his guard down. Man, that hour felt endless. He wipes sweat off his face, muttering, "Anyway, it's over." He freezes mid-sentence, eyes widening. The scene shifts. Crowds gather under a blood-red sky, murmuring in confusion and fear. Strange devices hum overhead, their energy pulsing like a warning. A mechanical voice echoes through the air. Welcome, everyone. You've successfully completed the tutorial. The room falls silent. Something about that voice doesn't sound like good news. A robotic voice booms across the hall. This is the lobby of the tower. You're currently in the C-2557 region. Confusion spreads among the survivors. Hoyoung looks up, frowning. The lobby? What's that supposed to mean? He scans the crowd. 14 men, 11 women, all disoriented. So they all cleared the tutorial too? Meanwhile, panic breaks out around him. People shout, beg, and demand to be sent home. Chaos spreads. People are shouting, crying, trying to make sense of what's happening. Hoyoung stands in the middle of it all, calm and observing. Everyone's panicking, and it makes sense, he thinks. The world literally changed overnight. He looks at his hand, sweat glistening on his skin. If I didn't already know the world was ending, I'd be panicking too. He clenches his fist, determination flashing in his eyes. Stay calm. I'll survive this, no matter what. A blonde woman looks around, confused. Where is this place? She whispers. Then a strange voice answers. This is the Tower of the End. She blinks, startled, unsure if she really heard that. Suddenly, a small figure appears in front of everyone. A talking white rabbit in a suit. The crowd freezes, shocked into silence. The little white rabbit throws up a peace sign, introducing itself with flair. Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm Kum, the cutest being in the tower and your lower floor manager. The crowd jumps back in shock. What the? It just popped out of nowhere, someone shouts. Is that a kid in a rabbit suit? Another yells. Were you the one who dragged us here? Kum just sighs with a faint smile. Well, I guess that's a normal reaction. Kum tilts his head, smiling innocently. I want to ask you something. Hoyoung steps forward, his tone serious. If this really is the end of the world, then what are we supposed to do now? Kum points at him with a sly grin. Now, that's a great question. Kum's cheerful face fills the screen as he says sweetly, all 22 of you players here. His expression twists into something sinister, eyes glowing with madness. We'll be participating in a game where your lives are at stake, he declares. The crowd freezes in horror. What? One of them stammers. Our lives? Hoyoung's eyes widen as he listens closely, a drop of sweat forming on his face. Kum's voice echoes over a cosmic backdrop, the tower stretching high above Earth. All humans of Earth are currently inside this tower. You'll have to work together on each mission to climb it. Hoyoung steps forward, uneasy but determined. Then, can we go back to our normal lives once we reach the top of the tower? Kum grins brightly, hands on his cheeks and eyes sparkling. I also don't know. Hoyoung stares, confused. Then what's the point of climbing the tower? Kum stretches dramatically. Is there a need to search for meaning in things? The rabbit's tone suddenly drops. Only death awaits those who... Everyone. A faint sound of footsteps echoes. Ah, someone murmurs softly. Kum's eyes glow red as he grins wickedly. Hoyoung freezes, his expression tense. Why didn't I consider a lot of people who couldn't even manage that? A haunting scene. There's no way. Kum smiles eerily, straightening his bow tie. Now then. Kum spreads his arms wide, eyes gleaming with mischief. Is anyone willing to try and kill me? Hoyoung's eyes narrow in disbelief. I need to die in order to get home. There's a special reward for the one who helps me. What? The rabbit grins slyly, the label above his head glowing. LV, 55 Kum. Any volunteers? Hoyoung thinks he doesn't look strong on the outside, but there's no way I can win against a level 55. Hoyoung watches cautiously as light flickers in front of him. I should just stand back and watch for now. Suddenly, a blue notification appears. A guide has arrived. The system window displays. Help the lower floor manager, Kumkum, get home. Hoyoung's eyes widen as he clenches his sword. Help Kumkum get home. Does that mean it's okay to attack that rabbit? Hoyoung grips his sword tightly, his eyes locked on the glowing rabbit. It never hurt until now to listen to what the guide told me. But is it worth doing something so conspicuous? Sweat drips down his face as he hesitates. Damn it, what should I do? He takes a firm step forward, voice steady. I'll do it. Everyone turns toward him in shock. Even Kumkum freezes mid-smile. A red-haired man steps forward, smirking confidently. If you want to die so bad, then I should kill you. Don't you think? Kumkum tilts his head with a curious, ew. Hoyoung, watching from behind, clenches his jaw. That was too late. The red-haired man raises his sword, laughing maniacally. Oh, I'll be able to get home. Kukik, don't regret it. I'll kill you as painfully as I can. He swings his blade down toward Kumkum with a sharp cry. Yeah, the sword slices through the air, aimed straight for the rabbit. Kumkum's expression turns cold and menacing. His once gentle eyes flare a fiery orange beneath a shadowed face. Before the attacker can react, Kumkum's small fist rockets forward, slamming straight into the man's face with terrifying force. The impact explodes with a burst of red light. The man's body is sent flying as Kumkum finishes the punch, his coat whipping in the blast. Chaos breaks out. Two players dash backward, eyes wide in panic as a red streak slices past them. A sharp splatter of blood bursts across the scene. The woman flinches in horror as the shadow of violence flashes behind her. From above the carnage, Kumkum's ears perk up innocently. Kumkum, oops. Kumkum stands amidst swirling purple energy, his fists still extended, eyes glowing red with a menacing grin. Kumkum, I accidentally counterattacked. Two nearby players freeze in terror, their faces pale as they stare at the aftermath. More players glance nervously at each other, sweat dripping as fear spreads through the group. No one dares to move. A deafening scream pierces the air. Players recoil in shock as Kumkum stands over the fallen man, his presence radiating dread. The survivors stagger back in horror. Player, panicking, he died. The sound of frantic footsteps echoes through the lobby. Lee Hoyoung's heart pounds as he watches the chaos unfold. Lee, thinking who volunteered. Kumkum stands in the glowing aftermath of his attack, forcing an awkward laugh. Kumkum, haha, everyone, it's just a mistake. A blood-splattered quest window appears. Guide, help the lower floor manager, Kumkum, get home. Kumkum extends a hand, his smile unsettlingly innocent. Kumkum, any other volunteers? The creepy bunny guide pops up, all smug, basically pitching a shortcut like who wants to help Kumkum get an early mark. It's bait, and the vibe is way too cheerful for how shady this feels. The main guy moves forward with a few others behind him, walking into this red, tense space like they're stepping into a dangerous round. Everyone's quiet, following along, but the pressure is thick. Close up on the main guy as it hits him. He freezes, sweating, eyes wide, realizing something's off. In his head, he's like, wait, the guide lied? What? The trust just snaps right here. As he's still processing the mess, his eye suddenly lights up with this golden symbol. A system pop-up hits him out of nowhere, saying the sage's status window just activated. He flinches like, wait, what did I just unlock? The full interface opens. Two options show up in front of him like a game menu. One called Sage's Eye and another called Guide. He's basically staring at a brand new cheat screen, trying to figure out what each button does. He focuses on the first skill, Sage's Eye. The description makes it clear. This thing lets him pull up and read other people's status windows. So yeah, he just unlocked the ability to inspect everyone like an RPG character sheet, and that's a huge power spike. He stares at the glowing menu, confused. He thought Sage's status window was the whole deal, but now a second option called Sage's Eye is sitting there like a hidden feature he never asked for. He's trying to figure out why this upgrade just dropped on him out of nowhere. Before he can even process it, the bunny guide suddenly shows up inside that golden system space, waving like it's totally normal. The MC's brain stalls for a second like, huh? You again? Then it clicks. The MC's expression shifts into a small, knowing smirk. He finally understands what caused this trigger and realizes the guide's little act was part of something bigger the whole time. The bunny guy drops the tough act and goes full pity mode, whining that Kum wants to go home. It's trying to look adorable and helpless, basically pushing the MC to step in. The MC raises his hand and volunteers right away, saying he'll handle it. The system even tags him clearly as LV, One Lee Hoyoung, like the story's locking him in as the one who's about to move. He steps closer and looks down at the bunny. Meanwhile, the guide sizes him up through the new status ability, humming to itself and noting his level like it's judging whether he's worth trusting or using. The bunny hits him with a weird moral flex, basically saying, "Why does my level matter if I'm doing a good deed?" Then it answers itself like it already won the argument. It's acting innocent, but the tone is low-key manipulative. The MC sighs and goes, "All right, fine." He's ready to do whatever the system wants, and the bunny instantly perks up. Begging to be sent home fast like this is a simple delivery quest. Right as he's about to move, the blonde woman rushes in and freaks out. She tells him to stop, saying this is way too dangerous and reminding him he literally just watched someone die. The MC stays calm, but she's clearly terrified of what he's about to trigger. The people behind her jump in too. They're nervous but backing her up, basically telling him, "Yeah, listen, don't go doing something reckless right now." The whole group is on edge after what just happened. The MC doesn't flinch. He keeps his eyes steady and says he's fine because he already has a plan. The blonde girl looks up at him like, "Wait, you do." He shifts into that calm, confident mode, gripping his weapon and giving them a faint, cool look. Then he drops a line like he's about to prove a point, telling them to watch closely because what comes next is going to be wild. The bunny suddenly spreads its arms with that fake sweet, face, like it's about to do something cute. But you can feel the switch coming. Yep, bait confirmed. The guide snaps into kill mode, eyes wild, yelling destroy, and launches straight at him with a nasty, blood-smeared punch. So much for the innocent act. A huge fist comes crashing down at the MC from above. He jerks his head up, eyes sharp, realizing this send me home quest was actually a trap and the real fight just started. Even while dodging the attack, the MC's mind snaps back to the bunny's words. Something about what Kum said earlier didn't sit right. He runs the numbers in his head. He's sure there are 25 people here because the rule announcement clearly said 24 players are supposed to be in this death game. But Kum called it 24 like it was the total count, and that doesn't match what he's seeing. So now he's stuck on one question. Did the guide just slip up, or did it say 24 on purpose because there's a hidden extra person in the room? The MC shuts down the "maybe it was a mistake" idea instantly. He remembers Kum's real fear wasn't about helping anyone. It was about facing a level 55 monster that could wipe him out. So the good deed talk was totally fake. The bunny goes all in on the ambush, smashing down with another brutal strike. It's fast, heavy, and clearly trying to end the MC before he can react. The crowd loses it. People scream and recoil as the fight turns violent right in front of them. They're realizing this isn't some test anymore. It's a straight-up execution attempt. The MC bursts in emotion, dropping his weight low and slipping under the attack. He keeps his grip tight on his weapon, setting up a clean counter instead of panicking. The bunny takes the hit, or at least gets clipped hard. Its face twists, blood splatters, and it's suddenly confused, like it can't believe the easy kill plan just got stopped. The guy tries to crush him with a heavy follow-up, but the MC plants his feet and blocks it head-on. Blue energy flares as he holds the force back, basically proving he's not getting steamrolled here. The MC's eye flares again, and he locks in. He's using Sage's eye for real now, scanning the situation instead of getting dragged by the guide's pace. The scan reveals the twist. One of the people here isn't a real player at all. It's a human-shaped hologram Kum planted, which explains the number mismatch. So yeah, the guide was lying on purpose. The bunny gets slammed back mid-fight, face all messed up and shocked, but it still tries to play it cool. While bleeding, it actually compliments the MC like, "Okay, you're better than I thought," basically admitting this isn't an easy kill anymore. The guy gets caught in the MC's blue energy and suddenly switches to dramatic narrator mode. Giving a farewell speech like this is some noble sacrifice. It's basically trying to save face while getting forced out. The teleport or banish effect finishes. The guide's presence breaks apart into light and disappears, leaving the MC standing there as the whole trap finally shuts down. With the threat gone, the MC exhales hard. You can tell he's relieved the plan worked, and he didn't have to gamble his life any more than that. After the guide vanishes, something drops onto the floor with a soft bounce. It's a shiny blue orb, just sitting there like leftover loot. The group steps in cautiously, staring at the orb while a system label pops up calling it a stat point. Everyone's confused but also tempted, like, wait, is this a reward? One guy bends down and pokes it, still shook for the hologram reveal. He blurts out that the person was fake, and now they're basically realizing this orb is proof the guide was running a scam the whole time. The red-haired guy corners Lee Hoyoung, asking how he figured it out. Lee's holding the blue stat orb, looking calm but a little caught off guard, while the others wait for an explanation. The blonde woman steps in and lays it out. She says she watched the blood go right through Chai Yiziel, and if that death was real, Yiziel should have been splattered because she was standing close. Since there was zero blood on her, it had to be staged. Lee nods and admits that's exactly why he suspected the whole thing was a show. Lee turns to leave with the stat point, but the red-haired guy stops him with a sharp "hey," then basically complains that it's a waste for Lee to keep that reward. You can feel the greed creeping in. Kim Seong steps up, pointing at Hoyoung like he owns the room. He shrugs off the whole fight and says Hoyoung only got lucky, acting like if he'd noticed sooner, he would have taken over. Hoyoung turns back, side-eyeing him, asking what he means by waste. Seong keeps talking, saying Hoyoung is still level 1 even after the tutorial, so he must be weak or a coward who couldn't kill anything and just ran. Basically, he's trying to clown him in front of everyone. Close on Hoyoung's face as Seong pushes it further. He straight up says Hoyoung's gonna die fast anyway, so he should hand the stat point over. Hoyoung stays quiet, but you can see the annoyance building like, is this guy for real right now? Seong reaches out like he's about to snatch the stat point, but Hoyoung catches his hand mid-move. Blue energy cracks out around his grip. Seong freezes, shocked, and Hoyoung shuts him down cold, basically saying he's not the type to roll over just because someone barks orders. Hoyoung steps in and pins him hard, pushing Seong down with zero effort. While Seong's face is smashed to the side, Hoyoung roasts him straight to his soul. He calls him a bottom feeder, says he's greedy as hell, and laughs at how this whole "give me the loot" act is just Seong trying to protect his ego because of levels. Close on Hoyoung's eyes. Inside his head, he's calm but calculating. He's dealt with guys like Seong before, so he knows the smartest move is to keep distance from people like that. But at the same time, he's wondering how long he can keep playing it cool and holding this line when the real danger hasn't even started yet. A system announcement drops on everyone's head like thunder. Starting now, gold is going to be handed out. The group instantly snaps to attention, confused and hyped at the same time. Hoyoung stands behind Seong, totally unfazed, while Seong grits his teeth and mutters gold, like he's already counting what he wants. Hoyoung basically tells him to chill and stop acting like this is some miracle just for him. The system explains the payout. In this area, the highest reward a single player can get is 7,400 gold. The room erupts. People start yelling 7,400 and freaking out, realizing that kind of money means someone's either about to get insanely strong or the next stage is about to be brutal enough to justify it. The gold finally drops. People start getting different amounts, and the room immediately goes into ranking mode. Seong's pissed, but tries to act like he's complimenting the mystery top scorer, while others quietly check their payouts and realize someone out there just got a crazy lead. Hoyoung stays stone-faced, but inside he's like, yeah, I was first. And he decides right away he's not telling anyone. After seeing how Seong acted over one stat point, exposing himself as the top earner would just paint a target on his back. He pulls up the system shop/status screen and scans the options. Gold isn't just pocket money here, it's survival fuel. You can spend it on gear, upgrade skills, or straight-up boost stats. Hoyoung's already thinking how to turn this payout into an advantage before the next round hits. Seong's already spiraling. He's yelling about how stupid expensive skill upgrades are, and even starts hyping himself up like, fine, I'll level basic swordsmanship too. Meanwhile, Hoyoung stays in the back, quietly checking his own screen and letting Seong embarrass himself. Hoyoung makes his move. Blue system light drops over him like a confirmation effect, basically showing he just purchased or activated something with his gold. He comes out of it looking way more put together. New outfit on, sword in hand, and that calm I know what I'm doing face. He straight up decides he's not staying in a gym uniform for a real death game. So he uses the rewards to gear up properly before anything worse starts. Hoyoung hears someone call him and turns, a bit alert. It's that, "Who's looking for me now?" moment after he just geared up. It's Shy Yiziel. She walks over with a calm face and asks to talk, saying she wants some advice. Her level tag shows she's already LV3, so she's not clueless. She smiles and starts buttering him up a little. She says his level might be low, but she was impressed by how brave and composed he was in the fight. Basically, she's trying to open a real conversation and maybe test what kind of person he is. Yiziel gets straight to the point and asks how much gold he has. Hoyoung hesitates for a beat, then answers honestly, 800. But in his head, he's already thinking he needs to keep his real advantage hidden, because if they find out he's using some kind of cheat-like skill, things will get messy fast. She switches to a more practical angle and asks if he likes exercising. Hoyoung's like, "I don't mind walking," which is his polite way of saying he's not exactly a fitness guy. Yiziel immediately reads between the lines and figures his stamina stat is probably low. So she gives him clean advice. If stamina is your weak spot, invest in it first, because without stamina, you can't last long here no matter how much gold you dump into items. Yiziel nods to herself, accepts the tip, and thanks him like she's taking this seriously. A system message cuts in mid-talk, announcing the first floor mission is about to start. Both Hoyoung and Yiziel snap to attention, realizing the calm moment's over. The next system order drops. Everyone has to form a 3-person party. No choosing teams, no negotiations, just random assignment. The room immediately stirs. People start panicking and looking around because luck is about to decide who you live or die with. Hoyoung goes quiet, sweat beating a bit. He didn't think this would turn into forced group missions already, especially not random ones. You can tell he's worried about getting stuck with dead weight or someone dangerous, and he starts bracing for whatever party he gets. Kim Junsong steps up and suggests they share their classes since everyone can already see levels. The moment he says it, the room shifts. People start dropping their roles out loud and immediately gravitating toward whoever looks useful, trying to lock in dream teams before the random party system hits. Yiziel turns to Hoyoung and straight up asks to team up with her. She's a healer, and Hoyoung knows that's basically a free survival pass early on, so he agrees without overthinking it. Just like that, she becomes his first party member. Hoyoung tries to get a third, but it's the same story every time. Folks laugh it off, apologize, and say they need to think before joining him. Nobody wants to risk being tied to the low-level guy, even after what he just pulled off. Hoyoung realizes the vibe is simple. Even with a healer next to him, people still don't want to risk picking him. He gets why too. A level 1 swordsman doesn't scream safe bet. Yiziel asks what they should do next, and he's basically left with the uncomfortable truth that their party looks weak on paper. While they're stuck, the higher-level players are chilling. The level 4 crowd is already grouping up like it's a casual meetup, locking in parties fast with people they actually want. By the time Hoyoung looks around, most strong combos are already taken. Hoyoung scans the room again, sweating a little. He's about to check who's still unclaimed, because whoever is left is basically his only option for a third member. Scene shifts, and Hoyoung lets out a tired sigh, thinking he's seriously unlucky. The party situation is going downhill fast. Back with the group, Seong is crouched up front, sulking hard. He's ranting to himself that being stuck in a party with Hoyoung makes him feel like a bottom feeder. Yiziel stands behind Hoyoung, looking uneasy, while Hoyoung stays quiet and just watches him spiral. Seong finally turns his anger outward. He notices Hoyoung looking at him and snaps, cursing him out like, "What are you staring at?" In his head, he's fuming that Hoyoung is way weaker than him, so teaming up feels humiliating. But the irony is, despite all that trash talk, Seong's also realizing he might have no better option left. The group arrives at the edge of forest clearing, looking down at a camp filled with kobolds preparing for battle. The red-haired brute cracks his knuckles and smirks, declaring he'll wipe out the entire kobold tribe himself. The guy in pink calmly reminds him it's supposed to be a team mission. The brute snaps, calling him a loser, furious that someone he's letting tag along even dares to talk back. His temper's clearly about to explode. He exhales, keeping his cool. "Fine, I'll ride your coattails and see how great it really is." For now, he decides it's better to play along. The redhead scoffs, mocking him for backing down. But the calm guy just replies politely, "Thank you for your concern," which only irritates him more. Watching them bicker, the blonde girl sighs nervously. Will this party even survive like this? The redhead storms ahead, swatting at the air and grumbling about the bugs swarming around them. The rest of the group trails behind, trying to stay focused. From above, the forest looks alive with movement. Huge insects crawling through the trees as the team unknowingly walks right into their territory. The guy in pink keeps his eyes sharp, muttering to himself that the bugs are everywhere, but something about their size feels off. Hoyoung glances around, sensing something unusual in the forest. A voice calls out his name, snapping him back to focus. The blonde girl catches up, asking if the kobold monster is really that strong. Hoyoung explains it might be tougher than a one-horned raccoon, but since they're still on the first level, it should be doable. Hoyoung stays sharp, reminding everyone to stay cautious. It's still the Tower of the End, after all. A massive figure grips a weapon, muscles tensing as it prepares to strike. The kobold emerges, towering, ripped, and clearly not your average level 1 monster. The creature stomps down hard, its sheer weight shaking the ground beneath it. Hoyoung freezes, a drop of sweat sliding down his face as his eyes widen. The towering kobold stands in full view, ripped, armed, and radiating power. Hoyoung yells out, realizing, that one's way too different. The blonde girl panics, realizing the kobold's power. Hoyoung stays calm, suggesting they check for more lurking nearby. A heavy step hits the ground. Someone's moving closer. Hoyoung freezes as a voice cuts through the forest, mocking him for hiding like a coward. The red-haired brute charges him like a cannonball, slicing through the air toward the kobold with insane speed. The kobold snarls, realizing too late that its opponent isn't holding back. With a thunderous punch, the red-haired fighter yells out mid-swing, mocking Hoyoung for still being stuck at level 1. Hoyoung and the blonde girl watch in shock, eyes wide as the fight explodes in front of them. The red-haired fighter grins like a maniac, loving every second of the chaos. The kobold growls in rage, his red eyes glowing as the man mocks him for surviving this long. The red-haired fighter's gone full berserk, slamming the kobold into the ground with raw force, eyes glowing with madness. Hoyoung watches from cover, shocked that the guy dove in head first without hesitation. The blonde girl jumps into action, summoning energy in her hands. She's not letting him handle alone. Hoyoung scans the area, keeping low. No signs of more kobolds, at least, not yet. He watches the fight unfold. Yiziel's healing magic glows while the red-haired guy keeps pounding the kobold. Kim Seong, level 4, fights like a beast. With Yiziel backing him up, he might actually solo this monster. Hoyoung analyzes the situation, realizing something's off. The damage doesn't match the guy's insane strength. The guide pops up, revealing the truth. Kobolds don't even attack unless provoked. Hoyoung connects the dots. Kim Seong literally picked a fight that didn't need to happen. Hoyoung keeps his cool, deciding to look on the bright side. Might as well capture a few kobolds for data while he's at it. But then, something pops up on his screen. His eyes widen in shock. Meanwhile, Seong grits his teeth mid-fight, clearly pissed as the kobold keeps tanking his hits. Seong loses it completely, launching a brutal punch that explodes with force. He's going all in to end this. The shockwave rips through the forest, shaking trees and tearing the ground apart. A massive tree crashes down between them, the fight's chaos reaching a whole new level. The kobold takes the full hit, only to block it with sheer power, muscles tensing under the falling tree's weight. Its eyes flare red as its level shoots up to 6. Now it's not just angry, it's evolved. More kobolds rush out of the shadows, closing in fast while Seong struggles to keep up with the sudden onslaught. Seong's struggling hard. His attacks aren't landing clean, and the kobolds keep pressing in. He's pissed that Hoyoung's just standing there, doing nothing. Then suddenly, boom! A flash of light erupts nearby, and Seong panics, thinking Hoyoung bailed on him mid-fight. Before he can even finish cursing, one of the kobolds lets out a furious roar and swings down with brutal force. Yziel freezes in shock as the kobold swings its massive weapon straight toward her, Seong barely holding it back. A sudden step, someone moves fast, closing the gap in an instant. Yziel's thrown to the ground by the shockwave, hitting hard as the earth cracks beneath her. Yziel's eyes widen, panic setting in as she realizes the kobold's not done yet. She scrambles for her weapon, desperate to react before it's too late. The kobold charges in a frenzy, eyes glowing red with pure rage, swinging down to finish her off. The kobold lunges forward, mid-roar, weapon raised to crush everything in its path. But before the strike lands, Hoyoung's blade pierces through a glowing orb, purple energy bursting out like venom. In one clean motion, he swings down, unleashing a surge of dark energy that tears through the kobold, saving Yziel in the nick of time. The kobold freezes mid-roar, purple energy veins spreading across its chest like wildfire. Its body convulses, eyes bulging as the corruption tears through every inch of flesh. And then, boom, the creature erupts into a violent explosion of energy, disintegrating in an instant. The guy takes a sharp step forward, like he's done holding back. That single move tells you he's about to jump into the chaos instead of just watching. Cut to the fight. The moment he steps in, the whole field reacts. One guy gets knocked flat, another freezes up, and the rest finally realize someone new just entered the scene, someone they clearly weren't ready for. And the red-haired thug? He snaps. He turns with this shocked, offended face like he just heard the most disrespectful thing imaginable. He can't believe someone actually dared to call him a loser, and it hits him harder than the punch did. She spots him and instantly lights up. The whole battlefield fades for her in that moment. She's just calling out to Hoyoung like he finally showed up, and everything suddenly feels safe again. Hoyoung locks in with this sharp look, like everything finally makes sense. He's piecing things together mid-fight, and that little smirk tells you he's already planning his next move. Flashback or deduction moment. He remembers the orchard. All the fruit got wrecked by bugs, but this one batch was untouched. That's when it clicked for him that something about this situation wasn't normal at all. He remembers those untouched fruits again. The way they stayed perfect while everything else rotted makes the answer snap into place. They weren't normal. They were the key. Back to the present. Hoyoung pulls one out of his inventory. A poison apple. Now, it all lines up. This wasn't just a weird farming mystery. It was the exact tool he needed for this fight. And the guide spells it out clearly. Kobolds go down hard to poison. The moment he reads it, you can almost see the gears click. He didn't just notice something strange. He accidentally prepped the perfect counter. Hoyoung finally puts it together. That poison apple he saved? Turns out it isn't just some weird loot drop. It's the exact item the mission was hinting at from the start. He's been holding the solution in his hand without even knowing it. Cut back to the thug. He's grinding his teeth, sweating hard. He can feel the tide turning, and the fear starting to slip through his tough guy act. Hoyoung ignores him and goes straight to help Chai Yziel up. She's shaken, but she's safe now, and she knows it. She thanks him, while the guy behind them looks like he's about to pass out from panic. Hoyoung explains what happened like it's no big deal. He didn't expect another monster to get dragged over by the aggro, and if he'd been a little later, things could have gone bad. Yiziel doesn't care about any of that. She's just relieved he showed up in time. Meanwhile, the red-haired thug turns away, trying to act casual while he pretends he's not terrified. He asks where Hoyoung disappeared to, trying to save face even though he's clearly shaken. Hoyoung cuts him off without hesitation. He calls out to him with that cold, dismissive "Oi, loser," and the guy's whole tough guy persona collapses on the spot. He looks like he just took psychic damage from being called out so bluntly. The red-haired guy completely loses it. He starts screaming at Hoyoung, accusing him of hiding during the danger, and then swooping in just to steal the final hit. He's pointing and ranting like he's the victim here, while Hoyoung and Yiziel just stare at him, confused. He keeps going, yelling about how he knew Hoyoung was unethical the moment he saw him absorbing stat points. Meanwhile, Hoyoung's face says it all. He has no idea what this guy is rambling about. Then the dude storms off, muttering to himself about being the bigger person because his level is higher. Hoyoung watches him wobble away dramatically and wonders out loud if the guy's actually just unhinged. Hoyoung lets out a small sigh. After watching that whole meltdown, he already knows the guy's social awareness is non-existent. If he keeps acting like that, this place is only going to chew him up even harder. We cut to the Kobold village. The sun's going down, the flags are up, and the whole area is swarming with kobolds getting ready for a fight. And there he is again, the red-haired maniac, charging straight into the kobold village like he owns the place. He's throwing fists everywhere. Acting like this is his home turf. In his head, he's a national champion or something, going all out like the whole world's watching. He's swinging wildly now, throwing his whole body behind each punch. He's not fighting smart. He's just trying to overwhelm everything in front of him with brute force. But the kobolds aren't just standing there anymore. One of the bigger ones blocks him head-on, slamming its club against his fist. He's screaming like he's declaring war on the entire species. And then it hits him hard. His face twists in pain as that impact finally breaks through all the tough guy posturing. That's the moment he realizes he may have bitten off way more than he can chew. He's still swinging like a man possessed, screaming for someone to try and stop him. At this point, it's pure stubbornness carrying him, not skill. Meanwhile, Hoyoung and Yiziel are clearing kobolds like it's nothing. Every swing, every stab, clean eliminations. The system keeps popping up with notifications because they're wiping the place faster than the game can react. The red-haired guy glances over mid-fight and nearly loses his mind. He's struggling against two kobolds at once, while those two are casually laughing and tearing through mobs like they're on a field trip. He can't understand how they're making it look so effortless when he's about to get folded. The kobold finally catches him clean. One heavy strike slams straight into his face, and you can see the moment his confidence shatters along with his jawline. He hits the ground hard, completely flattened while the kobolds close in on him. All that tough guy energy is gone. He's just getting tossed around like a rag doll now. One of the kobolds raises its claws and brings them down again. He's screaming, not from pride or anger this time, but pure pain. Every hit is landing like a truck, and he's realizing this fight isn't hype. It's a beating. The kobold swings again, dropping another heavy blow with zero hesitation. At this point, it's not even a fight. It's a beatdown. He completely breaks. Hands over his head, tears everywhere, begging for someone, anyone, to save him. All that bravado from earlier evaporates the second real pain hits. He's still curled up on the ground, sniffling, when something makes him pause. He looks up, confused, like he just realized the hit suddenly stopped. The kobolds that were mauling him suddenly freeze. Their eyes glow, their bodies tense up. They're staring at something behind him, something even they don't want to mess with. A flash detonates behind them. Whatever showed up hits so hard the kobolds are blown away in an instant. No warning, no build-up, just raw force wiping them out. Debris rains down around him as he lifts his head, stunned. The ground is shaking, rocks bouncing everywhere. He knows something massive just arrived, and judging by his reaction, he's praying it's not worse than the kobolds. Hoyoung is the one standing over him. Calm, steady, sword in hand. The exact opposite of the panic and chaos this guy was just drowning in. And just like that, the power balance flips. Hoyoung leans in with that casual confidence, telling him he took over the free ride he was bragging about. He asks how it felt, like he's giving a performance review on getting saved from a beatdown. The red-haired guy just lies there, dazed and embarrassed. He tries to smile it off, but he looks like someone who just had every ounce of ego knocked straight out of his body. The second Hoyoung shows him mercy, the guy completely flips. He goes from crying in fear to crying in worship, staring up at Hoyoung like he's some heroic savior who descended from the heavens just for him. Then he explodes in a full drama mode, shouting, "Hoyoung, my big bro," at the top of his lungs. Hoyoung and Yiziel both freeze, trying to process how the man who was insulting him 5 minutes ago is now pledging family ties. And right on cue, the system pops up. The mission's cleared. Everything's wrapped up, even if the emotional whiplash definitely wasn't part of the plan. They step out of the portal like it's nothing, all three of them walking in sync. The mission's done, and they're heading back to the lobby like a squad that just cleared a raid without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, this guy is realizing he messed up big time. The confidence is gone. He's staring into the void, basically asking himself why he ever thought today was the day to act tough. And now he's on the floor, full panic mode, begging to serve the MC. The switch-up is wild. 1 minute he's a threat, the next he's pledging loyalty like his life depends on it. Seong is losing his mind because he just called a level 2 newbie sir, and now he's panicking about how embarrassing that is. Meanwhile, the others are casually congratulating Haeyoung on leveling up like nothing happened. Seong starts spiraling hard. He knows if anyone finds out he bowed to a newbie, his reputation is cooked. But he's stubborn, so he decides he has to stick to his word no matter what. Now he's standing behind Haeyoung, fists clenched, looking like he's fighting for his life. Haeyoung just glances back, confused, wondering if the guy needs a bathroom break or something. They step into the lobby and immediately realize it's empty. No other teams have shown up yet, which means they cleared the dungeon faster than everyone else. And honestly, it wasn't luck. They pieced together the kobold's weakness before anyone else even noticed. She gives him full credit. She's hyped, saying his sharp, "I basically carried the whole run." The idea of using poison? She never would have figured that out on her own. He laughs it off, but inside he's dying because that praise feels way too heavy. He knows the truth, and now he just feels like he's tricking everyone. More teams start stepping out of the portal, and he immediately zeroes in on them. Looks like the other groups finally wrapped up their run too. He spots familiar faces and wonders if Junsong and Jinho's team made it back. The lobby's filling up fast. He figures they must have also figured out the poisonous apple trick. No way they finished this fast otherwise. The portal flares up again, and everyone turns toward it as another silhouette starts stumbling through. 2 hunters come dragging themselves out, barely holding each other up. One of the bystanders shouts that another party finally made it back. One guy collapses the moment he touches solid ground, gasping that he somehow survived. The others rush in to praise them for making out alive. The moment she asks about the third party member, the guy just breaks down. He can't even look her in the eye. You can tell something went really wrong. He finally forces the words out. While remembering the fight, he admits it was just the 2 of them who made it back, meaning the last member didn't survive. And right as that sinks in, the dungeon core starts buzzing again. Something new is activating. The system announces that every team has officially cleared the first mission. But the guy on the ground snaps his head up, eyes wide. He knows that's not true. He grabs the healer's coat, panicking. She tries to stop the system call, shouting that someone from their team still hasn't made it back. Then the system drops another bomb. 8 players never return at all. Our MC freezes for a second, realizing just how bad this really is. Seong's doing the math in his head and realizes the body count is way higher than he expected. He knew this place was brutal, but 8 people gone on the first mission hits different. We cut to a visual of what's waiting ahead, a climb stacked on bones. The tower doesn't just challenge you, it eats people alive. And the message is simple. This is only the beginning. Now the survivors start regrouping. The ones who made it back in one piece look shaken, but they're trying to stand tall. They're the lucky ones, at least for today. They check their rankings and realize they really were the first ones to clear the level. The trio is staring at their screens, finally letting it sink in. Hoyoung opens his reward window. He's earned 2,000 gold for the bonus achievements, and his stats pop up. It's not as crazy as the tutorial rewards, but he knows his gold might literally save his life later. Hoyoung focuses up. He reminds himself he has to save every bit of gold he can, because from here on out, the tower isn't giving out any freebies. Hoyoung asks the obvious question. He wants to know who actually placed first. He realizes he can't dodge it anymore. Everyone who came back second already knows the truth, so he's preparing to admit it. He raises his hand, ready to explain calmly. But before he even finishes, someone yells out and steals the moment, shouting that their party was the one who got first. The loud guy steps up like he owns the place, bragging hard about how obviously his team got first. He's flexing so much he's practically steaming, acting like everyone else is just doomed to be second-rate next to him. Someone from another group looks genuinely confused, like, "Hold on, your party got first?" They weren't expecting that at all, and the whole room starts buzzing. The loud guy immediately flips out, stomping forward and shouting at them. He thinks they're mad or jealous that he took first place, puffing his chest like he wants to fight everyone at once, while Hoyoung stands there quietly, looking like he wants to evaporate out of the situation. Seong's trying to act calm, but you can see the gears turning. He's thinking, man, this dude really forgot he got folded by kobolds. At least it means the spotlight's moving away from him, so he's low-key relieved. But the crowd clearly didn't get the memo. They're whispering, staring, and straight-up roasting him. They're like, hold up, level 2 and first place? That means he basically did nothing and still got 2,000 gold. The hate keeps coming. Someone else joins in like, does he not feel bad at all? The vibe is pure side-eye. Everyone thinks he got carried, and they're not letting it go. Hoyoung's standing there while everyone whispers behind his back. They're acting like he just freeloaded his way to first place, and the pressure is getting to him. You can see he's trying to stay calm, but yeah, it stings. Cha Yizil jumps in, trying to defend him before the rumors get worse. She's about to explain what really happened, because she actually saw how much he carried the team. Hoyoung stops her. He knows the crowd isn't interested in the truth. They've already made up their minds, so he just tells her to let it go. Hoyoung's done being quiet. You can hear it in his voice. He's made up his mind. He's going to show everyone exactly what he's capable of. Before he can say anything, someone starts clapping, trying to cool the room down. Junsong steps forward, acting like the level-headed leader. He tells everyone to chill and focus on staying alive instead of arguing. CEO Juno jumps in with that loud, motivational energy. He reminds everyone why they need to stay sharp and keep moving. He's one of the top players here, so when he talks, people listen. His confidence spreads fast. The whole group starts hyping themselves up, fists in the air, trying to shake off the fear from earlier. Before long, the entire lobby turns into a mini pep rally. Everyone's yelling that they can push through the next stage together, trying to convince themselves they're ready for whatever comes next. The whole room suddenly shifts as a violent surge of red and purple energy erupts upward. It's like the dungeon itself just woke up angry. All the torches around the chamber start flipping colors one by one, crackling with that same ominous energy. Everyone immediately knows this is not part of the script. Hoyoung looks up, dead serious, as warning screens pop up everywhere. The flames above him burn bright pink now, and the atmosphere turns tense in an instant. Players start panicking, trying to figure out what triggered this shift because whatever just changed, it's not good news for anyone. The whole hall freezes as a new system message drops like a bomb. A penalty mission is suddenly announced, and everyone starts panicking, looking around like they're expecting monsters to burst out of the walls. Hoyoung tenses up immediately. He's trying to understand what's happening, but even he looks shaken when the words death mission appear. This isn't some warning. This is real. Then the rules hit. Everyone is told to pick someone in their mind, and whoever gets the most votes will be forced into this death mission alone. The tension spikes. People start whispering, realizing they're about to decide who lives and who probably dies. The timer hits 5 minutes, and everyone suddenly gets it. This isn't some harmless vote. Someone here is about to get thrown into a death mission. People start panicking. You can see it on their faces. They're whispering, trying to figure out if getting chosen basically means dying on the spot. The anxiety is eating them alive. The clock ticks down to 4:59, and the whole crowd looks like they're standing under a guillotine. Every single person is staring at that timer, sweating because at this point, every second counts. The room goes dead silent as that red, ominous aura floods the place. Even the crows in the vision look like they're waiting for someone to get picked off. Everyone's staring at the countdown like it's a bomb about to go off. People are cracking under the pressure. Clocks are ticking down, sweat's dripping, and everyone's realizing they actually have to choose someone. Nobody wants to say it out loud, but they all know the truth. Whoever gets picked is basically done for. Tessa jumps in with the only idea that sounds even remotely sane. If everyone votes for themselves, then technically nobody gets targeted. But the moment she says it, the panic hits again. If the system twists it, they might all end up getting dragged into the death mission anyway. The whole room is spiraling. The clock's bleeding down, and everyone's losing it. One guy sprints toward Haeyoung, yelling that this is not the moment to argue. You can see the panic hit her as she freezes for a second. Another group starts freaking out. One dude's clutching his head, shouting that the timer's still running. Every second dropping feels like a punch to the throat. Then someone spots something and stops mid-panic, pointing ahead. The whole group turns, sweat on their faces, realizing something just shifted again. Someone finally points out the obvious. All eyes swing in one direction, and Ho-young is just standing there, calm as ever, like he already expected this moment to come. Then his name pops up in the air, loud and clear, and Ho-young lowers his head, completely unreadable. You can feel the entire room starting to close in on him. Haeyoung rushes toward him, panicking, calling his name. But Ho-young keeps walking forward without looking back, ready to face whatever everyone just decided for him. Juno's trying to play the moral card, asking if this whole thing isn't a little too harsh. You can tell he's uncomfortable, but nobody's stepping in to save him. He stammers out an apology, but even he knows they don't have a choice. The tension is so heavy it feels like the whole room is holding its breath while everyone stares at Ho-young. Ho-young keeps it together on the outside, but he admits the truth to himself. He expected people to choose him. Still, seeing it happen right in front of him hits a little harder than he thought. Juno finally cracks and admits it straight. He doesn't want to die, and you can feel the fear all over him. The whole room goes quiet for a second because everyone knows they're thinking the same thing, just not saying it out loud. Yziel jumps in fast, trying to pull everyone back from panicking. She throws out one last plan, hoping they can still flip the votes, but Ho-young shuts it down immediately. He already sees the problem before she even finishes. Jachel looks miserable as he speaks up. He's not convinced the plan would work either, and honestly, no one's sure if the system would even allow it. The countdown keeps dropping, and their options are basically gone. Everyone's arguing about what to do, but time's still draining away. Haeyoung tries to push out one last bit of hope, but Ho-young already knows the harsh truth. Trust is gone. No one's cooperating now. As the clock keeps counting down, something worse happens. Votes start popping up over Ho-young's head. One after another. People are choosing him. They're dumping the death mission on the weakest guy here. Seconds left. The red numbers keep climbing. Ho-young watches the names stacking up, and he can already guess why. Fear, selfishness, panic. It's all hitting at once, and he's the easiest target. Everyone forms a circle around Ho-young like he's already been sentenced. Every player's level hangs over their head, and he's the lowest one in the room. The tension is so thick you can feel it pressing down on him. Kihyun finally snaps. She rushes forward, yelling at everyone, furious that they all turned on the one person who actually helped them earlier. She can't believe how fast they're willing to throw someone away. But the rest of the group panics. People start justifying themselves, saying they haven't done anything wrong, crying that they'll die if they don't vote. The fear strips away whatever kindness they had left. Masks fall, and everyone's true nature shows. The countdown hits 1 second, and everyone freezes. That last moment exposes exactly who's been hiding behind fake sympathy this whole time. That woman shrugs it off like Hoyoung was doomed anyway, showing she never cared whether he lived or died. And right as the timer is about to hit 0, Seong steps forward with that twisted grin, grabbing his weapon and basically announcing he's made his choice. He's ready to throw Hoyoung under the bus the second it benefits him. The system doesn't waste a second. A red portal tears open in the middle of the lobby, crackling like it's about to swallow the whole room. Hoyoung steps right up to it, staring into that spinning red void. It's loud, unstable, and definitely not something a level 2 should be anywhere near, but he doesn't back up even an inch. Everyone around him watches, frozen. Some whisper, others panic, but Hoyoung just stands there in front of the portal like he already accepted whatever's coming. The reality sinks in for the crowd. This is happening. The death mission is real. Haeyoung calls out to Hoyoung, panic all over her face. She can't believe he's actually stepping toward that death mission portal. Meanwhile, Seong is losing his mind laughing, acting like Hoyoung disappearing magically fixes all his problems. Dude's celebrating like he just solved world peace. Hoyoung doesn't react at all. He just lowers his head, calm, steady, already accepting what everyone else is terrified of. He's walking into the mission without hesitation. Hoyoung walks toward the red portal while everyone else just watches, half guilty, half relieved. He knows they've all chosen him to die, but he doesn't slow down. If anything, he looks more resolved than ever. He steps onto the platform, right in front of the swirling entrance. Everyone assumes this is the end for him, but Hoyoung knows something they don't. Whatever's waiting at the top of this Calvary, it isn't death. Hoyoung steps into the swirling red portal without a hint of hesitation. Everyone behind him looks tense, but he moves like he already made peace with whatever's waiting on the other side. The energy crackles around him, lighting up his back as he disappears into the mission. But the moment he crosses through, his whole vibe shifts. The red glow flips into a bright blue surge, and he turns back with a grin that says he's been waiting for this. Whatever the others thought was a death sentence, Hoyoung sees it as a chance to feast. Something unnatural ignites. A cold blue flame appears out of nowhere, burning quietly but carrying a heavy, ominous presence, like a warning sign that trouble is about to unfold. Cut to a dark corner of the city where a group of fighters are lying low. Everyone looks worn out, tense, and beaten down. They're hiding, catching their breath, and silently dealing with the aftermath of whatever went down earlier. One of them finally breaks the silence, checking on the girl beside him. She's clearly shaken, but still holding herself together, trying to stay calm even though the situation is far from okay. Jin Junsong steps forward and lays it out calmly. Even though the situation is bad, they're still comrades. He says they should watch each other's backs, admits it feels wrong to split up like this, and takes responsibility without trying to argue. That calm tone instantly sets the red-haired guy off. He snaps back hard, calling it fake regret. He demands answers, accusing Junsong of talking big while hiding something, his anger spilling out without restraint. He doubles down, laughing it off like it's obvious. Just by looking, he claims he can tell Junsong's level. In his mind, Junsong hasn't earned anything and only leeched off others. The accusation hangs heavy, turning the tension from uneasy to straight-up hostile. The girl finally cuts in, clearly confused and frustrated. She asks what he's even trying to prove, pushing back against the sudden blame and forcing the tension into the open. The red-haired guy explodes again. He starts ranting about abilities, claiming Junsong didn't earn anything and just played it smart at the end. In his version of the story, Junsong swooped in at the last second and stole the credit when everything was already decided. He leans in, voice sharp and bitter, throwing out one last accusation. He reminds them that Junsong was nearly dead without help, implying that none of this strength is real. The anger is raw now, and it's clear this isn't just about the mission anymore. The red-haired guy's confidence finally cracks. His mind flashes back to the fight, replaying moments that don't add up. He realizes Junsong wasn't just lucky. Something about him was off, like he was hiding an ability that messes with levels themselves. The thought hits harder when he notices Junsong stepping forward. No hesitation, no panic, just steady movement, like he already knows what he's about to face. From the side, Junsong looks back toward the altar ahead. The blue flames are still burning, unchanged. He steels himself, knowing this might be his only shot. If there's even a small chance to turn things around, he's taking it. Junsong makes his decision quietly. No arguing, no explaining. He's done talking and decides the only way forward is to show results. If they doubt him, he'll let reality do the convincing. The girl can't hold it in anymore. Her emotions spill over as she wipes her eyes, the fear finally catching up to her now that he's stepping away. She looks up and speaks with resolve, even though her voice trembles. She says she believes in him completely and holds on to the thought that Hoyoung will come back alive. Not hope based on logic, but trust. Junsong gives a small, calm smile. It's not confidence for show. It's the kind that says he's already made peace with what comes next. The scene shifts as dark shapes cut across the sky. The atmosphere turns heavy, like the world itself is holding its breath. Crows gather on a tattered scarecrow, watching in silence. It feels like an omen. Whatever Junsong is walking into now isn't just dangerous, it's final. Junsong moves deeper into the forest and immediately recognizes the bodies on the ground. These are the same kobolds from before. The place feels wrong, too quiet, and the unease hits him fast. He brushes it off with a light smile and keeps going. No backup, no hesitation. He's already committed to seeing this through on his own. A system prompt pops up in front of him, laying out the odds. The mission is dangerous, but the reward is worth it. Junsong accepts it without overthinking. If this is his chance, he's taking it. Junsong tightens his fist and steels his nerves. He admits to himself that he needs to be careful now. This isn't the time to rush in or get reckless. The system warns him just as the air shifts. The kobold hunting group is back, surrounding the area. The silence breaks, and the pressure snaps into place. Glowing eyes emerge from the darkness. One by one, the kobolds step forward, their killing intent clear. Junsong stands alone in the middle, completely boxed in, and the real fight is about to start. Junsong's expression sharpens in an instant. The pressure is undeniable now. Whatever's coming isn't regular mobs. This is the real threat showing itself. Something massive steps out of the darkness. The atmosphere turns violent, like the forest itself is being crushed under its presence. This isn't just another kobold. It feels like a predator that rules this place. The boss finally reveals itself. The kobold chieftain roars, flexing its power without holding back. The moment locks in. This is the fight that decides whether Junsong walks out or ends here. The realization hits hard. This isn't a normal boss fight. It's a straight-up death mission. One mistake here, and it's over. The system fills in the details fast. The Kobold Chieftain is the dungeon boss, level 12, and poison is its biggest weakness. That single line becomes Junsong's lifeline. Without wasting time, Junsong acts. He crushes the item in his hand, releasing its effect immediately. This isn't panic. It's preparation. The counterattack starts now. Junsong locks in. A level 12 boss backed by a swarm of kobolds is basically unwinnable. He knows it. Anyone else would have already given up. But he moves anyway. Kobolds rush him from both sides, weapons raised, trying to overwhelm him with numbers. He steps straight into the pressure instead of backing off. One of them swings in for the kill, jaws open and blade coming down. The fight finally explodes, and there's no room left for hesitation. Junsong slips past the first strike at the last second, using the kobold's own momentum against it. He moves clean and sharp, not wasting a single step. Steel clashes as he locks blades with the enemy, forcing the weapon aside. This isn't brute force. It's control. He's already dictating the exchange. In one smooth motion, he cuts through the pack. The poison slash tears across multiple kobolds, dropping them instantly. The battlefield flips in a heartbeat, and the swarm starts thinning fast. Junsong pushes through with confidence now. He knows the odds are trash, but that doesn't matter. He's already decided this fight won't follow the usual outcome. The chaos settles for a moment. He exhales, scanning the ground. Most of the weaker enemies are already down, their bodies marked with a lingering poison. His gaze hardens as he looks ahead. The side mobs are basically cleared. What's left is the real problem. The calm before the final clash sets in, and he knows the boss is next. The kobold chieftain charges head-on, swinging its blade like it wants to end everything in one move. The killing intent is overwhelming, no hesitation at all. Junsong meets it midair. He twists his body and slams down with a full power strike, the impact ripping through the ground as both forces collide. Blades crash and lock together at close range. Junsong holds his ground, eyes steady, proving he can stand face-to-face with a boss meant to be unbeatable. Junsong reacts instantly. He adjusts his stance mid-impact, reducing the damage just enough to stay standing. Clean timing, no wasted motion. He studies the boss closely and realizes something important. This thing isn't just strong. It actually knows how to fight. Proper swings, real technique. That makes it way more dangerous. Then the boss suddenly changes movement. It shifts position instead of pressing forward, throwing Junsong off for a split second. That hesitation hits him hard. Something about this fight just took an unexpected turn. The chieftain suddenly kicks off the ground and charges again, closing the distance in a blink. The speed spike is insane, like it's trying to overwhelm him before he can react. Junsong tracks the movement carefully, watching the footwork instead of the blade. He stays silent, waiting for the exact opening. He strikes first. A clean slash lands across the chieftain, damage numbers popping as poison takes effect. Junsong stays calm, confident this fight is already tipping in his favor. Junsong stays weirdly calm, even casual. From his point of view, everything is lining up exactly how he needs it to. No rush, no panic. The boss swings again, blade glowing with force, but Junsong meets it head-on. The clash is brutal, sparks and energy tearing through the air. Then something feels off. The impact doesn't hit like before. Junsong senses a sudden shift mid-exchange, and for the first time, doubt creeps in. Everything freezes for a beat. The chieftain suddenly stops moving, blade lowered like it just lost the will to fight. Junsong hesitates, confused, because this wasn't part of the plan. He steps closer and realizes something's seriously wrong. The boss isn't reacting anymore. No aggression, no pressure. It's like something else just took over the situation. The sky answers. A blood-red moon rises, flooding the area with a heavy, ominous glow. Whatever's happening now is bigger than this fight, and Junsong just triggered it. The chieftain's eye snaps open, glowing red and sharp. Whatever hesitation there was is gone. This thing didn't calm down. It woke up. Before Junsong can react, the blade comes down. Blood sprays as he's hit hard, his body thrown off balance in an instant. That single strike changes the entire flow of the fight. Then a voice cuts in, laughing, cold and confident. It says there's no point holding back anymore, since the one standing in front of it is basically already dead. The real danger has finally shown its face. Back on the lower floors, Kim Seong announces himself like it's already over. He claims he'll carry everyone from here on out. Full confidence, no doubt in his voice. The girl can only pray. Hands clasped, head down, barely holding herself together. Behind her, Junsong's friend watches in silence, tension written all over him. Seong scoffs when he sees that. He laughs it off, mocking the idea of praying for someone already marked for death. In his eyes, Junsong is done. The gap in belief between them couldn't be clearer. She snaps at the red-haired dude, yelling his full name like a disappointed mom, calling him out for being heartless even in a situation like this. He fires back, acting all defensive, saying there's no way the MC would have survived anyway. And everyone around them just freezes like, bro, seriously? That tense silence hits different, and even he starts wondering if he might have said something he really shouldn't have. The blonde suddenly notices something and points out the glowing portal starting to react again. Everyone turns toward it, tense and ready, when they see a familiar blue-haired silhouette stepping out of the light. The group's expressions change immediately, some shocked, some relieved because against all odds, he actually made it back alive. Light flickers across his body as the system patch-ups finish healing his wounds, proving he really cleared the mission. The message confirms it for everyone. The guy who went on a literal death mission actually returned alive. He steps out with a calm smile, looks at everyone, and simply says he's back, like it was no big deal at all. We see the system warning again, reminding us that the kobold chieftain goes into overdrive when its eyes turn red. And sure enough, that exact moment flashes back, the chieftain's eyes blazing crimson as its power spikes like crazy. The MC realizes it mid-fight, shocked, right as the boosted monster lands a brutal blow on him before he can react. He staggers back through the forest, clutching his wound as blood keeps pouring out. His HP is already down to 30-something%, and he's barely staying on his feet while desperately trying to stop the bleeding. Meanwhile, the chieftain is going berserk, HP draining but rage sky-high, sprinting straight at him, thinking all it needs is one final hit to finish this. The dude taps into pure rage mode and charges him like a beast, convinced all he needs is one clean hit to end this. Meanwhile, the main guy is clutching his chest, bleeding and panicking, but he forces himself to stay focused because he knows this moment decides everything. That attack finally lands, ripping straight through the monster's body, and you can tell this blow isn't just strong, it's fatal. The monster swings with insane power, but the guy barely ducks under it, and that punch blasts straight through the tree behind him like it's nothing. He looks back in shock, realizing that one hit would have literally ended him on the spot. That's when it clicks. He can't afford a single mistake here, not even for a second. He looks at his sword and realizes something. Even if the blade can't slice through solid stone, it doesn't matter. Because just like a nail can pierce straight into a wall, there's always a weak point if you strike the right spot. He thinks back on how he's been using the sword all wrong this whole time. Try to swing like a hero instead of aiming for that one perfect piercing strike. He remembers every clash so far, every close call, and realizes the only way he wins is by timing that one perfect stab. His eyes sharpen. No fear now, just focus. He braces himself and waits as the monster charges in, planning to use all that momentum to drive his blade straight through its weak spot. He leans in with everything he's got, throwing his whole body weight behind the blade to make that stab hit even harder. The monster slams its foot into the ground, stopping on a dime like it realized something's off. The impact shakes the whole area, blasting the ground apart as the tension spikes right before they collide. The monster lunges straight at him, claws out, ready to tear him apart, but he doesn't back down for even a second. All that power gathers into a single point, like the world itself is twisting around it. He drives everything into that one tiny spot on the monster's chest, betting it all on piercing through the core in a single decisive strike. His blade is buried deep, purple blood spraying everywhere, and he finally realizes he actually pulled it off. He breaks into this relieved smile, whispering to himself that it worked, like he can't believe he survived. Then footsteps echo in the aftermath, someone approaching the scene just as everything finally goes quiet. He turns toward the sound, a little surprised, still catching his breath after the fight. Out of nowhere, this blonde woman sprints at him with open arms, screaming his name like she hasn't seen him in years. She crashes right into him with a full-on tackle hug, totally ignoring the fact he's still covered in monster blood. But the force of that hug is way too much, and they both go flying backward across the floor like bowling pins. She sits up all dazed and confused, blinking with question marks all over her face like, what just happened? Our guy slowly turns his head and realizes he's actually trapped in a super intense bro hug with the red-haired dude instead. That guy grins like a maniac, squeezing him even tighter, clearly way too hyped about him surviving the fight. Hoyoung gets yanked into this sudden bear hug by the red-haired dude, and he's instantly tense like, bro, what is happening right now? The red-haired guy starts going off, full volume, basically yelling that he trusted Hoyoung from day one and calling him Big Bro like they're lifelong brothers, even though Hoyoung looks more terrified than touched. He keeps squeezing and hyping Hoyoung up in public, calling him some strongest in the universe legend, while Hoyoung just stands there dead inside, clutching his stuff and thinking he really wants to drop this guy, but can't. Someone calls out, hesitant like they're not sure it's real. Lee Hoyoung, and Hoyoung's attention snaps over. A small group steps in, and the guy in the middle immediately cuts to the point, asking if Hoyoung actually cleared the death mission. The vibe shifts fast from awkward hugging to everyone locking in on him. The leader's tone softens for a second, saying he's glad Hoyoung made it out alive. Then he follows it up with the obvious next line. If Hoyoung cleared that mission, he must have gained a ridiculous amount of experience. The red-haired guy blurts out the weird part everyone's noticing. Hoyoung cleared the death mission, but his level still says level 2. He's sweating like even he knows that makes zero sense. The crowd immediately starts whispering and side-eyeing like, no way he's still level 2, right? People start doubting everything, saying maybe that mission was just pure luck and didn't mean anything. Hoyoung stays quiet, jaw tight, thinking to himself that he had a plan for how to deal with this, but now it's getting messy fast. Hoyoung flashes back to a harsh truth he learned early. The world loves keeping weak people stuck there. In his hands is a performance report showing he was basically perfect across the board, like he'd already proven he wasn't ordinary. People around him back then were already whispering about it, saying he topped the whole system, and someone calls out his name like they can't believe what they're seeing. Young Hoyoung just stands there silent, staring at the paper, not celebrating at all. More like he's realizing that even when you're clearly the best, the world still finds a way to box you in. The moment Hoyoung's results come out, people instantly flip into hater mode, saying he obviously cheated and acting like there's no way someone like him could ever top anything. The rumors get uglier and more desperate. Everyone starts inventing stories to explain it like he must have been hiding somewhere, grinding nonstop, or got some unfair advantage, while Hoyoung just stands there silent, letting the noise pile up around him. Hoyoung clenches his fist and steels himself, basically admitting to himself he already knows how this goes. Once people decide what you are, they don't change their minds that easily. Hoyoung's expression hardens. He's done letting the whispers slide, and you can tell he's deciding it's time to move differently from here on out. Before he even speaks, someone steps in and snaps at the crowd, basically warning them to stop talking reckless like it's a joke. Everyone's attention shifts instantly. A blonde woman comes in heated, calling them out for doubting Hoyoung nonstop, reminding them the guy literally survived the death mission. So why are they still acting like he's some fraud? The blonde woman steps up right next to Hoyoung, calling out Chai Yiziel by name, but you can tell she's still frustrated because she thinks Yiziel doesn't really get what Hoyoung's been dealing with. Hoyoung stays calm, just letting her speak. The red-haired guy's mood shifts fast. He's standing behind them, listening, and you can see him tense up like he's about to explode on the crowd again. And yep, he fully breaks in a loud, dramatic mode, yelling, "You're right, big sis," while basically listing out every reason the haters are trash for doubting Hoyoung, like he's ready to start a whole public fight over it. The crowd finally snaps back and tells the red-hair guy he's lost it, basically saying he sounds insane with all this strongest in the universe talk. The blonde woman looks annoyed but still stands her ground like, yeah, he's extra, but still, while the red-haired guy keeps glaring like he wants to throw hands, and Hoyoung just stays in the middle, quiet as always. And then Hoyoung hits a small, almost hidden smile, because as loud and embarrassing as this is, he can't lie, actually makes him feel a little safer. Hoyoung locks in and makes a decision. If everyone's going to survive the tower, he can't just stand there and take doubts. He needs to prove himself with something they can't argue with. He turns to the group and calls out, "Guys," like he's about to shut down the whole conversation and take control of the situation. Then he straight up pulls out a weapon and raises it high, a rare sword. And the moment people see it, the vibe flips. That's his move. Stop explaining, start showing. The bystanders immediately freak out over the sword stats, calling it basically cheating, and even admit there isn't any info on a blade like that, like it shouldn't even exist. That archer guy steps forward, calm but clearly impressed, saying he can't believe Hoyoung brought the poison apple too. He straight up compares Hoyoung to Chai Yiziel, saying both of them are on another level, and Hoyoung just plays it off like it was just luck. The archer keeps talking, saying a rare weapon like that is way more valuable than a little extra experience, especially when survival is the real goal here. Hoyoung repeats the phrase back like he's tasting it. Our survival. Huh. And you can tell his tone just turned cold. He hits them with a calm, scary smile and basically says they've all conveniently forgotten something important. Then he finally snaps. Eyes locked, voice sharp. He calls them out for the real issue. They almost got him killed. Like, not oops, not bad luck. They pushed him right to the edge of death. Hoyoung stops talking and moves first. He steps in like a switch flipped, grabs the guy who was running his mouth, and forces him down hard, fast enough that nobody even reacts in time. The whole group goes quiet. Yiziel freezes, the red-haired dude stares, and everyone else suddenly remembers they're not dealing with the same level 2 pushover they were gossiping about. The dude Hoyoung grabs swallows his pride along with his fear, sweating like crazy, because now he gets it. Hoyoung wasn't exaggerating when he said they nearly killed him. The orange hoodie guy finally steps forward and admits it straight up. Hoyoung's right. No excuses, no dodging. He owns what he did, saying he kept telling himself it couldn't be helped, but the truth is they basically used Hoyoung as the scapegoat. They all knew he wasn't the problem, but they still pushed the blame onto him anyway. And the reason comes out. Even though they knew voting against Hoyoung was wrong, they did it because he had the lowest level, so he was the easiest target to throw under the bus. The confession gets even uglier. He admits they weren't just voting logically. They were quietly targeting Hoyoung the whole time. He says it out loud. They threw Hoyoung into a death situation so the rest of them could live. And then he bows hard, voice shaking, apologizing like his life depends on it. With tears in his eyes, he adds the part that hits the most. He's genuinely glad Hoyoung came back alive, because deep down he knows what they did was messed up beyond repair. Hoyoung just stands there in silence with the rare sword hanging at his side, staring down at the guy, bowing to him. No comfort, no reaction, just cold acceptance. Then a woman in the group tries to laugh it off, acting like it wasn't that serious. She says someone had to go anyway, and even points out that Hoyoung came back with a rare item, like that somehow makes the whole thing not so bad. The orange hoodie guy whips around, shocked and furious, like, are you serious right now? Because hearing her minimize it just proves they still don't truly get what they did. The orange hoodie guy calls the woman out hard, asking if she seriously feels zero guilt. She tries to shrug it off like that's not for you to decide, but he's not letting it slide. As he keeps going, someone steps in and physically stops a mid-rant, like, enough. Don't turn this into a mess. Hoyoung finally speaks, calm but firm. He says he didn't bring this up to scold anyone. He brought it up so this never happens again. Hoyoung points out the obvious trap. After what happened with the death mission vote, everyone should have already realized something's off. He explains the tower's real game. It's trying to split them up, plant distrust, and turn them against each other until they start fighting among themselves. And he makes it darker, like the tower isn't just testing them, it's enjoying it, watching them self-destruct while it nudges them straight toward ruin. The group looks shaken. That the tower is playing us line actually lands, and you can see people starting to question everything they've been doing. Hoyoung tightens his fist and says he's already proven it. If they act right, they can mess up the tower's plans instead of falling for them. The archer steps in and asks the real question. If Hoyoung's that confident, does he have an actual plan going forward? He even adds that he's been searching for the safest route, but it's still brutal, so they need direction, not vibes. The archer lays it out like a promise. If they move together, they'll keep climbing, step by step, higher and higher. He follows it up with the long game. One day they'll reach the end, and all this chaos will finally pay off. The others around him look serious, like they're ready to commit. Hoyoung looks up, eyes narrowing like something in those words just hit him. Either a warning or a new idea forming right on the spot. Someone voices what everybody's been scared to ask. If they keep climbing like this, can they actually get their normal lives back? Hoyoung looks up, holding the sword like he's carrying that question too. The idea spreads through the group like a spark. People start murmuring, realizing they've all been thinking the same thing. And for the first time, it feels possible. The blonde woman jumps in with a burst of energy, saying if they want that future, everyone here has to link up and work together. No more splitting, no more throwing people away. The blonde woman starts rallying everyone to team up, and the mood finally shifts. People nod, like they're actually ready to follow Hoyoung instead of judging him. The orange hoodie guy gets all emotional about it, calling Hoyoung so generous, realizing they judge him over something stupid and small, and now he's embarrassed about how they acted. But then the vibe gets cut instantly. Someone says, "How unfortunate." And it feels like a warning, like whatever's coming next isn't going to let them have this nice teamwork moment for free. That creepy rabbit mascot pops up like it owns the place, introducing itself as Kumkum and cheerfully announces the next thing is a survival game, like people's lives are just content. Everyone instantly tenses up because they thought this thing was gone. The moment it shows up again, the group starts panicking and questioning why it's back, especially since last time it meant trouble. Hoyoung stays sharp and fires back, asking what it means by a survival mission this time. And the rabbit basically smiles like, "Yep, you catch on fast," which is never a good sign. The rabbit confirms it with that fake sweet tone, then drops the rule. This time, only 2 people are allowed to move on to the next floor. The rabbit's face turns straight up sinister as everyone processes what that actually means. Hoyoung and the others go stiff because the tower isn't testing skill anymore. It's forcing a choice. And then the name of the mission hits like a punch, a battle royale. The whole group snaps into panic, realizing the only way forward is to start taking each other out. The rabbit keeps the cutesy act going, saying since it's a lower level, this should be an easy warm-up for them, like it's just a fun little game. Then it hits them with the math. On level 2, there are 6 players here, plus 26 doppelgangers, so the arena is about to be packed with people who look like them. Total, 32. The conditions to clear start getting explained, and the energy turns grim, because this isn't a simple fight. It's a setup where anyone you see could be a fake, and the whole place is designed to make them turn on each other. The rabbit makes it worse. The doppelgangers won't just match their stats. They'll have the same memories too. So you can't outsmart them with only we know this type stuff. Then it lays down the trap rule. If you kill a doppelganger, you get nothing for it. No reward. The only kills that actually pay out are player kills, which means the tower is basically bribing them to go after each other. And the rabbit wraps it up like it's doing them a favor, saying this mission could be a big opportunity, especially for Hoyoung, like it's already expecting him to make a move. The rabbit adds one more nasty rule. If there's no kill for every 30 minutes, something bad is going to happen. Basically, the tower is forcing violence on a timer. Right after it says that, the system kicks in like a countdown just started, and the pressure hits everyone at once. A bolt of energy slams down into the arena, and the whole place reacts. People panic and flinch back because it's clear the tower isn't bluffing. It's already showing them what no kills is going to cost. That lightning doesn't just hit the floor, it grabs someone. You see their hand get wrapped in this brutal purple energy, like their whole body is being shocked from the inside. The victim collapses and starts convulsing while everyone backs off in pure panic. Now it's real for everybody. If they don't produce a kill on schedule, the tower will just start executing people itself. Out of nowhere, a massive monster drops in. Its level can't even be read, and the pressure it gives off is straight up terrifying. People instantly realize this isn't something they're supposed to fight normally. Everyone snaps into emergency mode, yelling for Hoyoung to move. Somebody charges forward like they're trying to pull him out of the danger zone before that thing targets him first. He snaps, teeth clenched, eyes burning, every bit of hesitation gone. Whatever was holding him back breaks in an instant, and now he's fully locked in, ready to lash out and take control of the situation. Out of nowhere, a brutal force slams down like a meteor. The ground screams, pressure explodes outward, and everything nearby gets hit with raw power all at once. Dust and debris flood the area, visibility drops to zero, and the shockwave keeps rolling. Whatever just landed wasn't normal. It was intentional and overwhelming. When the dust clears, everyone gets flung back like ragdolls. The ground is shattered, cracks glowing with leftover energy, and it's obvious now. Someone just made a statement without saying a word. The white-haired guy immediately grabs the black-haired dude and yanks him back, like he's trying to shield him before the next hit lands. Everyone's still frozen, realizing the situation just flipped from bad to worse. And then the real nightmare shows up. This armored monster with glowing red eyes steps in like it owns the place, lifting busted concrete like it's nothing. The black-haired guy looks up from the ground, and you can tell he's thinking, yeah, we're cooked. The rest of the crew finally reacts. One guy straight up screams, asking if this is even real. Nobody's fighting anymore. They're just trying to process how something like that is standing right in front of them. The red-haired girl crawls back, shaking, yelling that there's no way they're supposed to fight that thing. Then she breaks and starts begging for help, straight up saying she doesn't want to die. The black-haired guy narrows his eyes and locks in, but you can see the sweat. He's realizing the whole group is mentally collapsing. Everybody's fear is spreading faster than the dust even cleared. The monster starts moving. Heavy steps, slow and deliberate, like it's enjoying the panic. Every footfall hits like a countdown, and it's closing in to finish the job. Someone gets yanked up into the air, spinning helplessly, and the scream says it all. This isn't a fight, it's a hunt. Right as the monster's about to keep rolling everyone, a new guy drops in like a missile. The impact blasts the ground apart, and he positions himself between the creature and the group, basically saying, back off. The two guys on ground snap, their heads up, shocked. One's panicking, the other's trying to understand what they're even looking at, because whoever just arrived doesn't feel like a normal person at all. Out of all the chaos, chubby bunny mascot is just wobbling around like it owns the place. Everyone's stunned, like, why is this thing acting cute right now? Then it starts talking like a guide NPC, laying down the rules. This is some kind of mission, and every 90 minutes there's a guaranteed death. Basically, if they don't clear objectives, people are going to keep getting erased. The black-haired guy's expression shifts hard. He connects the dots fast, so that monster wasn't random at all. It was a preview of what this mission is going to be like from here on out. The black-haired guy flashes back to that first insane impact. People getting launched up like toys, bodies spinning midair, and him just standing there staring, trying to stay calm while everything breaks. Then the memory jumps to the aftermath. Guys crashing down, limbs flailing, rubble raining everywhere, and the whole scene looking like a mass wipe waiting to happen. And right after that, someone actually tries to fight back. One guy raises a weapon and fires, and another guy hurls a chunk of debris like it's his last shot. It's messy, desperate, and you can tell they're all just throwing anything they have at a threat they don't understand. Their attacks actually land. Shots punch into the monster's hand and spark on impact, but it doesn't even flinch. It just takes it like it's being tapped with a pen. People keep swinging and throwing everything they've got, but nothing works. And the bigger guy is already winding up a brutal punch, like he's about to turn somebody into paste while the rest can only watch. The black-haired guy grits his teeth, sweating hard. He's pissed and terrified at the same time, realizing this isn't some test or show anymore. This thing is genuinely trying to kill them. The team is already running on fumes. One girl's trying to heal, but her MP bar is basically empty. People are coughing up blood, someone's freaking out about their legs, and the black-haired guy's watching it all like, yeah, we can't keep this up. In his head, he's thinking, nobody's died yet, but that luck isn't lasting. Then the pressure hits again. The monster's massive arm swings into view, and the whole zone shakes. Everyone feels it at the same time. It's coming back for another round, and this time it's even closer. The black-haired guy snaps into leader mode and shouts for everyone to stand back, like he's about to do something risky himself instead of letting the group get wiped. He lunges forward and yells at Hoyoung to get out of there, basically pushing him to retreat while he stays behind to take the hit himself. Then he draws that glowing red blade and swings with everything he's got, like he's forcing his body past the limit. He's not trying to win, He's trying to stop the next second from becoming a massacre. But the monster's fist drops in like a falling building. The shadow swallows him up, and you can feel it. His slash is about to collide with a punch that's on a completely different level. He screams through the pain and forces the blade up, like he just realized there's only one move that might actually matter right now. He thrusts the sword straight into the air and triggers a skill, stab, and a huge, spiraling vortex starts forming above him, sucking in energy like a whirlpool in the sky. The vortex grows into this massive, spinning storm overhead, warping the air and lighting the whole area up. Everyone around him freezes, because for the first time, it looks like the battlefield is reacting to him, not the monster. Everyone just stops. Their faces say it all. Some are shocked, some are straight up terrified, and even the loud tough guys go quiet because they can't believe he just pulled that off. Up in the air, he's still mid-motion, holding that glowing blade like it's the only thing keeping him alive. But his expression shifts from confidence to confusion, like he didn't expect the skill to react this way. The crowd tries to speak but can't even finish a sentence, because whatever's happening next is so unreal. Their brains are lagging trying to process it. The whole group erupts like a stadium. People start cheering and throwing their arms up, because for the first time since this started, it feels like they're not helpless anymore. They start calling out Lee Hoyoung, hyping him up like he's their last hope. But Hoyoung's just standing there gripping the sword, still tense and confused, like he knows something's off even if everyone else is celebrating. Then he suddenly gets that weird familiar chill, like the kind of pressure he's felt from real monsters before. A blue system window pops up, and his face tightens because he realizes this strength didn't come for free, and something is about to happen. The cheering keeps ringing in his ears, but Hoyoung's face drops. He's sweating, breathing weird, and it hits him that his body isn't okay. His balance slips, and his arms go loose like the strength just got yanked out of him. 1 second, he's standing like a hero. Next second, he's collapsing like his stamina got deleted. His vision starts tunneling. The crowd's voices get muffled as everyone rushes in, calling his name, and Hoyoung fades out right in front of them. Hoyoung snaps back awake like he just got shocked into reality, gasping and yelling, totally disoriented and still feeling that leftover pain and pressure. He's flat on the ground with everyone hovering over him, people shaking him, asking if he's conscious, crowding in way too close. And Hoyoung's just laying there blinking like, "Why are you all in my face right now?" Meanwhile, the orange jacket guy is losing it, full-on emotional. He's talking about how he can't believe Hoyoung passed out after being that strong, acting like this is some legendary fainting equals power moment, and basically calling Hoyoung built different. The blonde girl helps Hoyoung sit up and immediately starts asking what just happened and why everything turned into a disaster so fast. Hoyoung's holding his head, still trying to piece it together, like his brain just rebooted mid-crisis. Then the bunny mascot pops back in, way too cheerful, and casually explains the monster got sent back. Basically, that whole nightmare was just a sample run, so they'd understand what kind of hell they're in now. And the bunny keeps talking like it's judging them. It calls them out for acting too friendly and not taking it seriously, even though they were literally seconds away from dying. The tone is clear. The real missions won't be this forgiving. The bunny drops another rule bomb. The guaranteed death still happens every 90 minutes. And then it adds that the people still standing right now are basically the ones who hear, meaning they're the chosen participants whether they like it or not. Everyone turns toward Hoyoung without even realizing it, like the group instinctively decided he's the center now. Hoyoung just sits there dead serious, eyes sharp, because he knows the panic phase is over and the survival phase just started. The bunny leans in with that smug little pose, like it's about to explain the next step with a smile, the kind of smile that says it enjoys watching humans scramble. The bunny hits them with the most messed up line yet. The ones who hear, it might end up being the ones who kill them. For a second, it feels like the mascot's shadow grows into something huge and predatory, like it's showing its real face behind the cute act. That lands like a punch. Everyone's expressions snap from confusion to straight fear, because now the danger isn't just monsters. It's the people standing right next to you. Then the bunny casually wraps it up like a host ending a show, says the message is delivered, and jumps into a portal to leave, like it didn't just plant paranoia in the middle of the group. The portal snaps shut, and the last trace of that blue light fizzles out, like the bunny was never even there. Silence takes over. Everyone just stand around the empty spot, still processing what they were told, and nobody knows who to look at first, or what the right move even is anymore. Someone clenches their teeth and starts shaking because the paranoia kicks in. The moment the mascot leaves, the real danger shifts to the group itself. Hoyoung's eyes narrow, and you can see the switch flip. He's not celebrating anymore. He's analyzing, because that kill each other warning just poisoned the whole room. He looks off and realizes this place isn't just some random arena. There are structures, exits, spots that might matter, meaning there's probably a dungeon master or controller they can actually track down. So he speaks up and forces the group into a plan. If they don't find the one running this, the mission will eventually push them into murdering each other. And the moment he says it, people will start moving, because searching is better than standing still and letting paranoia win. Someone throws out a desperate idea. What if we mark each other? Because if those doppelgangers can copy memories too, then nobody can even trust what they know anymore. The group pauses and looks around at each other, uneasy. You can feel everyone trying to decide if they should agree, or if agreeing just makes them an easier target. Hoyoung cuts through the noise and calls everyone in. He says he's got something in mind, like he's about to lay down a rule that keeps them alive and keeps them from turning on each other. The blonde girl and the others' exchange looks like, what's he planning now? They're interested, but also nervous, because whatever Hoyoung says next is going to decide the vibe of the whole group. Hoyoung stands up and faces everyone, taking control of the space. He starts laying it out. During this mission, they can't afford chaos, hesitation, or random hero moves. Then he drops the line that makes everyone freeze. He's basically saying he'll take responsibility himself. Like, only I will do it, meaning if there's a dirty job or a risky move, he's volunteering to be the one to carry it. The moment Hoyoung says that, everybody reacts at once, confused, angry, shocked. Like no one expected him to go full dictator mode this fast. Hoyoung lays down a strict rule. Everyone has to gather in one spot on the second floor and stay visible. And if anyone leaves the group without permission, they're immediately treated as a doppelganger, meaning the team will jump them together, no questions asked. That's when a tough-looking guy steps forward and challenges him. Basically like, so, that's your plan? And you can tell he's not some random extra. He's got the I've survived worse energy. A woman steps up acting way too calm, even smug. She compliments Hoyoung like he's pretty good for a low level, then immediately questions why everyone should blindly follow his orders. Hoyoung doesn't bite. He stays quiet for a beat, then hits them with a simple check. Do you even remember what the bunny just said? And he brings it right back to the real problem. Killing a doppelganger gives you nothing, but killing an actual player gives rewards. Meaning the system is literally tempting people to turn on each other. So if they don't lock down movement and trust, the first teammate who gets greedy becomes the real threat. Hoyoung paints the picture bluntly. While everyone's busy trying to identify doppelgangers, the system is actually nudging people to start cutting each other down for rewards. Basically, the tower wants friendly fire. He looks dead serious and says he's done being the tower's toy. Then he follows it up like, so, yeah, this is the best solution, meaning he's choosing control over chaos. But not everyone's convinced. The woman snaps back, asking how that's supposed to be the best, and you can tell the room split. Some want safety, others hate being ordered around. The archer guy steps in and backs Hoyoung up. He's like, I agree, because keeping everyone together is the only way to minimize losses right now, even if it feels strict. But Hoyoung doesn't let it get too comfortable. He locks eyes with him and asks the real question. If we do this, does that mean you're confident you can actually tell who's a doppelganger and who isn't? Hoyoung's expression tightens into this sharp half-smile, like he's testing everyone on purpose. He's basically forcing them to admit the truth. Nobody's actually sure, and that's exactly why his plan has to be airtight. The system drops a new order on everyone. They have to kill at least one person within 30 minutes. And it even shows the count. 16 players, 16 doppelgangers. So it's basically telling them, half the room is fake, good luck. Footsteps start moving fast. Somebody breaks into a run, like they're done talking and ready to act before the timer forces their hand. The big leopard shirt dude starts ranting while marching forward, trying to sound brave, but clearly stressed. He's like, the tower can't just demand they kill someone out of nowhere. Then he admits Hoyoung's plan isn't terrible, but it still doesn't solve the timer problem, because now they have to find a target, and fast.
He freezes mid-step, eyes snapping up like he just sensed something bad. The mood instantly shifts. This isn't random. Someone's here. He turns around slowly, scanning the area, jaw tight. He's on edge now, trying to figure out who's watching him without making it obvious. Realization hits. His face hardens, fist clenches, and he finally says the name out loud, Seong. Whoever that is, their presence clearly means trouble. The guy steps out calm and calls him out immediately, like, you really thought hiding behind a tree was gonna work? Red Hair tries to play it off with a fake laugh, acting friendly like it's no big deal. Oh, it's just you, big bro? But you can tell he's nervous. Then he flips the mood in 1 second, eyes wide and grin gone, like he just realized he misread the whole situation. He seriously thought this was some random punk gang, not someone way more dangerous. Before anyone can react, he goes straight for the kill, weapon raised high, no hesitation, like he already decided how this ends. Close up, his face is calm but cold, blood already splashing as he follows through. This isn't anger or panic anymore, it's pure intent.
He snaps into that cold mindset and makes it clear, nobody else gets to decide this. If anyone's going to take a life, it's going to be him. Then the game hits him with a brutal mission. Kill at least one person in the next 30 minutes. And the numbers are messed up, 16 players and 16 doppelgangers, meaning there are copies walking around. And it's already a bloodbath waiting to happen. He stares at the screen in silence, processing what that really means. Anyone he meets could be real or a fake. And either way, the countdown doesn't care. He pulls up the guide and immediately clocks a loophole. Whoever hits a certain sensitivity stat level first gets a skill called Impeccable Senses, and it straight up helps spot doppelgangers. He's like, yeah, this is the answer. It's basically done. He admits he was low-key shook after seeing the doppelganger count. But then this guide pops up at the perfect moment, like the game just handed him a cheat code. So he starts dumping resources into sensitivity nonstop, burning through stacks of currency like it's nothing. The stat keeps climbing, and now he's stressing over one thing. How much does he have to pump into it before the reward finally triggers? The moment he hits the requirement, the system pops off. He unlocks Impeccable Senses. He laughs like, finally, now we're talking. The skill info lays it out. His senses get massively upgraded, and he can see a detailed information aura around people as long as they're within a certain radius. He looks at his hand and feels it kick in like some invisible HUD just switched on. After burning almost half his gold, he's relieved because this is exactly what he needed to start separating real players from doppelgangers. Right after the skill activates, he catches a faint mumbling nearby, like someone's talking under their breath, and now he can actually hear it clearly. He freezes mid-thought because the voice feels familiar. His expression flips to wait. I know that voice, don't I? Before he can even move, a huge spatial distortion opens up, like reality just tears open into a glowing tunnel. And there's a figure dead center, making the whole situation feel like someone just triggered the next phase on purpose. A huge guy shows up right on cue, acting like it's no big deal and complaining that he got dragged out here for no reason. He starts second-guessing the meetup plan like, Hoyoung told us to gather, but isn't this kind of reckless? Then he grumbles about the worst part, having to hike up a mountain for this. Meanwhile, the main dude is watching with that satisfied look, realizing the skill is already paying off. He can literally hear this guy's thoughts/voice from far away. And in his head, he's already labeling him. This one looks like a real player, not a doppelganger. Then he catches it. Something's off. A weird, nasty smell hits his nose out of nowhere. He instantly clamps his hand over his mouth, trying not to react too hard, but he's sweating like crazy. In his head, he's like, why is there suddenly such a disgusting stench? And that's when the vibe flips. The big guy's presence turns straight up wrong. His face warps into this creepy, smug expression, like the mask just dropped. Now it's obvious. That player isn't normal. It's the kind of thing you should not be standing next to. It clicks instantly. He locks up, hand over his mouth, realizing the truth. That guy wasn't a real player. It was a doppelganger the whole time. And before he can even process it, the system confirms it. A doppelganger is dead. The count drops, and the mission reminder hits again. He still needs at least one kill within the time limit. He grips his weapon, staring ahead with that heavy look, and thinks back to the "I thought you were a doppelganger" moment. He admits to himself he was acting calm, but now that it actually happened, the reality of killing is hitting different. He steadies himself and refocuses. Now that he's confirmed the doppelgangers are real, the next move is simple. Start picking them off one by one. He hopes the others are actually sticking to the plan. We cut to another guy basically saying, yeah, I'm on board. He agrees to follow the plan, but he also points out the scary part. Nobody knows what could change in real time once things pop off. Back to the main dude. He's tense but trying to stay composed. He's hoping nothing goes sideways before they reach the map's high place, because once they're up there, the whole situation could get way more dangerous. He checks the counter again, and his face tightens. Now, it's 15 players and 15 doppelgangers, which means someone else just got taken out too, and it wasn't him. That thought hits hard. His eyes go wide like, hold up, did another person already kill someone? He looks down, tense and suspicious, wondering if a player did it, or if a doppelganger made the first move. Either way, he realizes the real danger. Someone out there is already acting, and that can wreck the whole plan fast. He goes dead quiet and admits the obvious. There's no way to know what just happened from here, and guessing wrong could get him killed. So he instantly switches to action mode and takes off, thinking he has to find whoever made that kill as fast as possible. As he moves through the forest, he spots a fresh trace up ahead. Something clearly struck a tree hard, like a weapon or impact just happened there. Now he knows he's close to the scene. He realizes the situation just got worse. While he was busy taking out another doppelganger, someone else also made a kill. The counter drops again, and he's pissed because he still has no clue where the killer is. Then his senses spike, like he catches a tiny cue, and his attention snaps hard in one direction. He launches forward through the trees at full speed, using the terrain to swing and close distance fast. He's basically hunting now, locking onto whatever presence or trail his new skill is picking up. He finally catches sight of the culprit, someone drenched in that creepy purple aura, holding a weapon like they're ready for round two. Main dude locks in instantly. No hesitation, no talking. In his head, it's just, found you. The second he commits, he drops in fast and clean, slicing through the air between the trees like a missile, going straight for the target before they can react. The killer turns out to be Yeonwoo, and he looks completely caught off guard, like he didn't expect to get found this fast. Before Yeonwoo can even finish reacting, the attack lands. It's one clean, brutal strike that drops him instantly. After it's over, the main dude exhales and thinks it through. His doppelganger really did have a shot at becoming the killer, but the real Yeonwoo being the one to snap first was not on his bingo card. Either way, he's relieved he ended it fast before things spiraled. He stands over the body for a second, basically giving a cold, final send-off. The system tags him as LV for Lee Byung-chul, and he just stays locked in, not celebrating. Then he suddenly pauses like, hold up, something feels off. He leans in, alert, because the situation isn't lining up clean. He crouches down and checks the loot, and that's when it hits him. Yeonwoo's weapon is just a regular longsword, which is weird because the killer he sensed earlier felt way more dangerous than someone swinging something this basic. He looks closer at the body and realizes the fatal injury doesn't match a sword strike. This wasn't done with a blade. That split-second silence hits, like his brain just connected the dots, and everything turns tense. Then he snaps his head up and spots someone standing at a distance through the trees. New presence, watching the scene. And now he knows for sure he didn't just walk into the end of it. He walked into the setup. The mystery clears up fast. This kill was done with an arrow. So the killer vibe he sensed earlier wasn't from Yonghua's sword at all. He clicks his tongue, annoyed, realizing there's another culprit still out there, meaning he might have just taken out the wrong guy first. He calls out toward the figure in the trees, and his senses flare. There's definitely someone hiding over there. Now he's trying to confirm. Is that an actual player or another doppelganger trying to play him? The archer suddenly realizes what happened. He sees the arrow and puts it together. The guy he shot was actually his own doppelganger. He keeps his bow drawn and calls out to check if Junsong's okay. But at the same time, he's confused because he thought he was dealing with Hoyoung. Everything's not matching up. Before the archer can move closer, the main dude steps in sharp and warns him to stop right there. No more friendly approaches until he's sure who's real. The archer backs off, but stays tense. He admits he doesn't want to be paranoid, but he has no way to prove who's a doppelganger. So he asks to keep a safe distance while he keeps his weapon ready. The main dude answers without playing games. He points out the obvious proof. The one he just killed was a doppelganger. Like, if he were a fake, why would he take out another fake in front of him? The archer goes quiet, still sweating and weighing it. He's not fully convinced yet, but he can't ignore the logic either. The archer finally exhales and lowers his guard a bit. He recognizes him for real and admits it. You really are Hoyoung. But the second he relaxes, something hits him out of nowhere. He jerks like he just got jumped, and the warning he gave about his doppelganger suddenly feels way too real. He screams for Junsong, and up ahead you can see Junsong standing there with his weapon, while Hoyoung sprints toward him full speed, realizing this is about to go bad fast. Hoyoung ends up supporting him as they move, basically carrying him through the forest because whatever hit him left him weak and unstable. Hoyoung's expression goes cold and focused, like he's replaying what just happened and realizing this isn't random anymore. Someone's actively targeting them. The archer apologizes straight up. He blames himself, saying if he hadn't escaped earlier, none of this would have happened. People wouldn't have died, and he wouldn't be dragging everyone into trouble. He starts spiraling, saying the scariest part is knowing his doppelganger is out there wearing his face and hurting people. Just thinking about it makes him feel sick. Hoyoung shuts that down immediately, tells him it's not his fault. They're all victims of this tower, and the only thing that matters right now is staying alive and escaping. Hoyoung goes quiet after saying it, but you can tell his resolve hardens. He's done wasting time on guilt. From here on, it's survival and control. Two more teammates come rushing in, calling for Hoyoung. They spot him with Junsong and immediately recognize the situation. Juno and Yiziel finally caught up. They both look relieved as hell. Yiziel says she was scared because she heard players had already died, and Juno backs her up. 2 deaths this early is crazy. Yiziel doesn't waste time talking. She goes straight into support mode, asks Junsong if he's hurt, and starts using healing on him right away while Hoyoung keeps watch. Hoyoung's tone flips urgent. He tells him to get back, right now. And then he drops it. The ones in front of them aren't teammates, they're doppelgangers. Juno and Yiziel snap into shock mode, like no way, you're kidding, but Hoyoung isn't bluffing. He's already bracing to fight. And then the nightmare confirms itself. Their copies step in with those dead, glowing eyes. One of them starts smiling like it's been waiting for this, and the whole mood turns from reunion to ambush in a second. The group moves in fast, but the Juno, yelling in panic, is clearly trying to bait them emotionally. Hoyoung keeps his body between everyone and the threat, ready to cut them off. Fake Juno clashes with Hoyoung and immediately starts talking trash, accusing him of still playing hero even after seeing the death mission. He even admits he thought Hoyoung would be an easy target because he's big-hearted. While Hoyoung is locked with the fake, the other doppelganger goes for the backline. Yiziel steps in to intercept, and the real team snaps into formation. Hoyoung holds the front, Yiziel covers, and they prepare to drop the second copy next. Hoyoung's mind is racing. Why are the doppelgangers showing up right in front of him like they're being guided? And what scares him more is the idea that one of them might have Yiziel's memories too. Before he can finish that thought, A sudden attack comes from behind. Someone rushes him at full speed, aiming for a cheap hit. Hoyoung whips around mid-motion, shocked, because the attacker moves like they know exactly how he fights. It's not just a random swing. This is targeted like they've studied him. Fake Juno blurts out a new trigger on purpose. He brings up Yiziel's doppelganger, trying to mess with Hoyoung's head and split his attention. And it works for a second. Hoyoung gets knocked off balance by a sudden hit, like they timed the distraction perfectly just to create an opening. But Hoyoung recovers midair and forces control back. He uses the momentum to reposition, landing ready to counter, while the doppelgangers scatter to keep him surrounded. Hoyoung senses danger a split second late. His eyes widen because something fast is coming right at him from the side. There's a sudden flash and impact. Everything pops white for an instant, like the hit barely missed turning lethal. An arrow slams into a nearby tree instead, trembling from the force. So yeah, the archer threat is still active, and they're taking shots while he's distracted in close combat. Blood slips from his mouth as he stays quiet, taking in the situation. He does not panic. He is thinking, already recalculating his next move. He turns sharply, eyes wide, realizing something is off. The silence hits harder than any attack. Whatever just happened was not part of his plan. The other guy breaks into a wild grin, gripping his weapon, completely confident. He truly believes this was the final move, that the game is over and he has already won.